what does it mean with the new PMTA? You know, because we're waiting and we're waiting. What does this mean? Now, finally, someone that can answer that question.
That's right. From North Guide Solutions, Monica Schick is on the phone with us. Monica, did you get any sleep, or were you up all night poring over all of the data?
Oh, I was up for quite a bit poring over all of this data.
And what's your takeaway? Has it changed? I mean, like, are there any surprises we didn't see coming?
Are there dragons?
I don't think they're dragons.
This is about as complicated.
Well, there are some key points that did change, and there was some things that were mentioned at the FDA conference. I think it was in October, November. I know it was like fourth quarter. When we went to go visit with the FDA and kind of discuss some of these things that we want to change in the pre-market and what they were requesting from us. So I did actually see that in writing on the paper. So let me go over a few of the key points.
Sure.
And give you guys kind of a quick rundown. So
yes,
please do, because it's way over our heads.
Yeah, it's way over my pay grade. I'm like, I don't know. I need a professional. Monica, please.
This is why we turn to the smart people in the room.
Right.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll take that. So there used to be in the writing that we would have to test 10 replicates, which meant that we'd have to test the same batch 10 times. Now we see that they've changed up their thoughts, and they're looking for 3 or more batches with 7 replicates, which means that the testing is going to decrease a little, right?
Okay.
Even though there is 3 batches now, but there is a decrease in the amount of testing, and a lot of people that have gotten quotes from, let's say, another laboratory, those are no longer valid. They're going to have to relook at the quotes. Ooh. Also, they did increase the amount of tests that needed to be done analytically. So before we had 29 harmful constituents. Now we're up to, I think, close plus or minus 34. So there was definitely an increase but they did make it a little bit more palatable to our industry. So a lot of the stuff that you see was things that, if you've ever talked to the flavor companies, that they have been talking about for a long time, which is the cinaldehyde, the furnal. I'm still always going to say it wrong.
You could say it wrong and we would have no idea. That's the beauty of this.
That's true. True.
Yeah. Well, if you guys could take a look, it's furnal.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds about right? So there were some things that had been brought up that we definitely did see coming. I know the FDA had discussed doing testing on a low emission product, which would be like an Ego Twist, all the way up to a mod to kind of get a range of different wattages. Mm-hmm. That was brought up. Yeah, I know that I had talked about it early on, and it was brought into the pre-market. So those are kind of the bigger takeaways. A lot of it is pretty similar, if not exact, to the draft.
Okay.
On the expense end, what are we looking at? Do we have any idea now what the cost, or what we're looking at, or what the manufacturers are looking at?
Right. Over the last couple of years, I've heard everybody say, "Well, it's going to be this much per SKU."
And that's ranged from 20,000 to millions.
To even go into the PMTA, and then of course hoping that you actually make it through and get approved.
Right.
So do we have an idea what that number is per SKU?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when everybody just dislikes Monica.
We promise we'll love you
right
afterwards.
Now, you say cost, right? So I actually have seen a proposed pre-market plan that this is not my plan, mind you. This is a company's plan that did do it at $0.5 ml per flavor.
$0.5 ml per flavor. Well, I've heard worse, projected it sometimes. Yeah. I've heard better and I've heard worse. So that kind of, at least it gives us a starting point somewhere mentally.
Okay, now when you say per flavor, are you talking about per flavor or per SKU?
Like nicotine, does it change with the nicotine level?
Okay, so that's all levels of nicotine for that flavor,
well,
all bottle sizes, everything.
This is such a huge elephant. I mean, this is a big elephant. I mean, if you try to even absorb a percentage of it, I think it's best to eat it one bite at a time.
Right.
And what I would suggest for a lot of people is, depending on where they are in the manufacturing process or where they are in their business, is to go to these events that are conferences, scientific conferences, not political conferences, but make sure they're scientific conferences, because everybody's going to have a sense of bias, right? Every company has bias, and if you want a really good idea of what's happening here, you're going to have to learn a lot of that knowledge for yourself. And when you're able to go to these scientific conferences, then you can better see what it is that's actually happening. You get to discuss it with people that are like-minded, that are going to give you different ways of contemplating and eating that data. So I would definitely say that if you are even attempting at this pre-market, is step one is definitely start going to those conferences. Step two is you got to call me.
Yeah. Yes. I would highly recommend. Yes, absolutely. Call Monica.
Yeah. I mean,
how did they do that? Like, what? Can you give out your number on the air? Can we do that? That's all right, huh?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, well, is it okay for you guys?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So our number here is 909-635-6588. That is our office number. And we can definitely, free consultation, so we can just kind of see where you're at and take a look at what's going on. And see where you want to go and where you can go and things like that. You know, like I said, if you're just looking at this document as a whole, it's going to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, the gloom and doom is it's all over that stuff.
Right.
Sometimes you need perspective.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. And we joke about it a lot, but the folks like you in this industry, you're the ones who do the homework.
Right.
For the rest of us.
You're the
ones who you're the one who studied in science
class. We're the guys that come in and go, "Hey, can I borrow a pencil?"
Yeah. Can I look at your can I crib off your notes, please? But that's what you do, and that's why you're an expert at what you do, and that's why you're so valuable to these companies.
Well, it reminds me of, like, I hate to say, but yes, there was a time when I got in a little trouble, and like when I get the court papers, I'm looking at them going, "Oh my God, this looks horrible. Like I'm going to be electrocuted. This looks like I'm going to be in jail forever." And then the attorney that's the professional at it looks at it and he goes, No, this is actually going to work. Yeah, no, we can work with this. No, this is good. This is actually better than I thought.
Well, actually,
really?
I believe his verbiage was, "Keep your pants on in public, idiot."
Right. But it's called guidance, and that's what North Guide Solution provides, is some guidance to the guidance.
That's true.
And I imagine each case is going to be different for each company. I mean, what one company may look at it in one way, depending on where they're at on the spectrum of manufacturing, could be totally different for another company. That's why they need someone like you, get in touch with you to actually custom, work with them, fit a plan that actually helps them go through this process if that's what they're choosing to do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have to start asking the hard questions, and we definitely are all about the hard questions. So we hold no punches. If you come in, we're going to talk to you. We're going to talk to you about what's really going on.
Absolutely. Get in touch with Monica and the crew. NGSINT.com if you need to remember it, because I know sometimes people don't remember the phone numbers.
Right.
North Guide Solutions, it's NGSINT.com.
Yep, or just go to North Guide Solutions and hit up Monica.
Yeah.
Just show up at the building, knock on the door.
Just search Monica Smart Vape.
Yeah,
that'll probably take you there.
Yeah,
just like Google guides you there.
Thank God that you did. That you're staying up. You guys working, trying to digest this information, because, like you said, it's so many of the people I know in the industry. They're going to get this and they look at it and it seems so much gloom and doom, but it not necessarily has to be that, because it may, in some cases, may not be as bad as we think. It may be easier to digest and maneuver through and process than we think. That's why we need somebody like you, instead of letting that fear control them and dictate to them, like, just run away. Get in touch with somebody that's a professional like North Guide Solutions and help navigate through that process.
And now, there was nothing in there about deadlines. Was there any? There wasn't any change to that, was there? Because I couldn't see any. There's none of that changes.
Actually, it's funny that you bring that up, because a lot of people are under the assumption that the deadline had changed to 2021. That was actually a drafted guidance, so they still haven't changed the date. It's still August 8th, 2022, but they might. It's still, like I said, it's still drafted. They haven't really made a decision whether or not they're going to move us forward. There's other things at play that have nothing to do with actual guidance and regulation. So, I mean, we all kind of know that there's always that little side deal that's going on. So that is still drafted. So 2022 is the date, August 8th, until otherwise one revision, 10 revisions, 3,000 revisions come through.
Right. Until Monica calls the bat line again and goes, "Hey,
we've got info.
Right.
We've
got a
info.
problem." Right.
Whoop, whoop.
Cool. Monica, thank you so much for clarifying that for us. Again, thank you for being the smart kid in class.
Yeah, and again, I'll say this again. I think the first and foremost, the best advice anyone in this industry needs to hear right now is don't panic, because if you panic and you freak out, it ends up causing a ripple throughout the entire industry that costs companies money. It costs you money. It does nothing but do detrimental things to our industry. It gives less options for consumers, yada, 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 on down the line. So first and foremost, don't freak out. Fear is, it's not a good thing. It's not your friend right now. Stay, solid in your thoughts and what your plan of action is. If you don't have a plan of action, you need to get in touch with Monica and North Guide Solutions and let them help you do that. Because that's what, it's a war. We have to have a strategy. We can't just go off emotion. So I appreciate you coming on and helping us with that. And I would encourage anybody listening to absolutely get in touch with North Guide Solutions. Let them help you out.
Absolutely. NGSINT.com. Monica, have a great day and go get a nap or some coffee or something.
You too, guys.
Yeah.
All right.